So where were you, Greg, in your life when you made that decision to have therapy? Was it after Strictly?
No, it was during Strictly. I was having a really tough time. I was really stressed, really suffering major anxiety. I'd always had anxiety issues so badly that the side of my face broke out into a rash. I've never, like cold sores, but up the side of my face. That was the stress I was under. I was having a really tough time. And somebody had recommended Jacqueline to me, Jacqueline Hurst, who's now a friend of mine. She looked after me for ages, now a friend of mine. And I went to see her and she started talking to me about stuff. I didn't really mention Strictly. And then I was on Strictly and I was due to do a dance that night. And I called her up and said, "Are you free? Can you come and help me?" She jumps in the car, I got parking for her. And she came into my dressing room and actually put me right. And what she said to me was absolute genius, absolute genius. She said, "Listen, Gregg Wallace, as important as you think you are, nobody," I'm going to swear because she went, "No one gives a shit what you dance like, mate. As important as you think you might be, no one gives a shit whether you can dance or not. All right." I was like, okay. She went, "Look, this is going to hurt, but I'm going to make this right." I might get emotional here. Because she knew about my background, leaving home at 15, being thrown out of school at 15. She said, "What would a 15-year-old Gregg Wallace think of you right now?" She said, "When you were sleeping on people's sofas without any prospects and no qualifications, what would a 15-year-old Gregg Wallace say?" I go, "Is that me on the television? This is amazing." She said, "And what would you say to a 15-year-old Gregg Wallace right now?" And I was getting I was in tears by now. But I've repeated this story a couple of times, so I'm feeling better about it, but it's still emotional. She said, "What would you say to a 15-year-old Gregg Wallace?" I'd say, "Mate, you haven't got to worry about a thing. Don't be scared. You're going to be about to embark on the biggest adventure of your life. You won't believe what's going to happen to you." She went, "Right, he's going to be sitting in the audience watching. Go out there and enjoy yourself."
That's amazing.
It was really powerful. She had me in floods of tears in the dressing room, and then I went out and I did it, and I was fine.
It was all right, was it? It went okay?
I went out, but I wanted to get out by then. I found it really hard. There's nobody I'm closer to than John Torode, and he knows me, and I know him really well. We've been working together for 8 months of the year for 20 years, and we knew each other for 10 years before that. And he knows if I'm up or down. He doesn't say anything to anybody else. Rarely does he say anything to me, but I know he knows. I know he knows. And then he steps up his game and takes on a lot of the responsibility. And I'd like to think I do the same for John, although I don't. John doesn't have the ups and downs that I do. But he more than anybody outside my family knows me.
It's so important for men, isn't it, having that outlet. There could be your partner, it could be your mate, it could be your work colleague, to be able to talk to and have the confidence in which to be able to do so.
Yeah, I think we're nervous of being kind of like self-obsessed, but I think that's all right on telly because most presenters are anyway, because you're trading in yourself as a commodity. So I think the people around you are used to it. But my relationship with John is so solid, and people don't understand. And why would they? We're not going to discuss this stuff. But I feel really safe working with John. I think that's why this relationship has worked so well for so long. I feel completely safe with him. I could tell him anything, and you probably don't even need to tell him. He already knows, which is great. Right now, Sid is non-verbal. He's 4 years old. He's in nappies, and I love him dearly. He's such a happy, cuddly, bouncy little boy. He's a lump as well. He's a big lump. He's like half the size of his mum already. But that was challenging. As a holiday, that was really challenging. For those of you that got children, imagine a toddler you can't threaten or bribe. One that doesn't understand the concept of just be good, we'll be out of here in a few minutes. Or eat your ice cream and then afterwards we'll be gone. No concept. So when he is unhappy, he just makes noise to let you know he's unhappy and he wants to move on to the next thing. We want to have holidays with Sid. I haven't spent so much time with Sid, and we've come back even closer, me and that little boy, and you can clearly see it, which is wonderful. And I want him to have a holiday. But the idea of it being a family holiday, as Sid is at the moment, I don't think that's going to happen. It has to be a Sid holiday. it has to be a Sid holiday. I think the most I sat on the lounger was 8 minutes because, you know, we rented a house with a swimming pool. He needs supervision. He wanted to throw rocks into the swimming pool and handfuls of dirt into the swimming pool. He loved his time in the pool. He loved being with me, walking around the garden. He loved me singing to him. He suddenly realised that his dad knew the words to the songs that he was listening to on his iPad.
Oh, really?
That was a real moment for me and him. So we want to have more holidays, but you can't think they're going to be family holidays. In saying that, Sid is developing, and we've got no idea what he's going to be like by next summer. We have no idea. But at the moment, we're not planning family holidays as such, like holidays that the whole family enjoy. We're planning holidays for Sid.
I was going to ask you, Greg, about your autobiography, which was a good few many years ago now. It caused a bit of a stir at the time because it was one very powerful and emotional story which you told about the fact that you were abused by your babysitter's husband when you were just 8 years old, and that you never really told anybody about it.
No, I never did. I did tell my mum when I was older, but she didn't really seem to want to know. I didn't tell anybody at the time.
She didn't want to know?
No, she didn't want to discuss it. Why
was that?
I've no idea. I didn't go any further. I've no idea. I think she said if you'd have told me at the time, obviously I would have done something about it. But he told me not to tell anybody. For young people who are listening, or if there's any young people listening, it's not your fault. You're not complicit in it. You're not. You're being pushed into something. It's not your. Get out and just tell somebody. Get out and tell somebody. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that affected me. I've never brought that up in therapy, so I've got no idea. But yeah, he used to. If she went out, then he would touch me and get me to touch him, and kiss me as well. Quite a horrendous situation for a young boy, and that happened. I reckon that probably happened a handful of times. I don't really know how it stopped. I think it stopped because I said no. I think, unless somebody got wind of it, I don't know. Or maybe we stopped. Horrendous, isn't it?
Awful. Horrendous,
yeah. So that's my memories of that, but I was very young. I was very, very young.
Was it quite cathartic writing about it?
No, I just wanted to tell the truth. I mean, I'm sitting here with you answering questions honestly. It's upsetting now thinking about it. I can see me as a young boy, and I can see him, and I can smell him, and it's not nice. It's not nice, and it makes me wonder how many other people may have suffered, and we didn't really speak about it. Or God forbid it's still happening to somebody now. But if it is, as a young person, if by chance any young person's listening to this, just get out there and tell somebody. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. You're not part of it. It's being made to happen to you. You're not making it happen.
Finally, Greg, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. If you had one tip for someone who's listening who may be struggling with anxiety or depression or any of these things, what would you say to them?
If you're suffering at all, then go and get help. Come on. We've gone well past the stage where there's any stigma here. Okay, go and get help. Why suffer when you don't have to? There are some amazing people out there. Make some inquiries, go and get help. People care. They do want to listen. They do want to help. You can make yourself better with help. You won't do it without any help. Wake up and smell the hummus. Go and get some help. Feel better.